Stop, Tolstoy, stop! Hey guys, welcome to another War and Peace reading vlog. I still have not edited episode 2 of me reading War and Peace, but I'm gonna go ahead and start another reading vlog because I've still been reading, and if I don't document it, then I'm not gonna have any documentation of it, of like my thoughts and things like that. So we're just gonna go ahead and start a new reading vlog and hope that Jade can edit the second one. So I have a War and Peace reading update. I'm on Book 3, Part 2, Chapter 18, which is page 804. We're slowly but surely making our way to the 1,000 page mark. How exciting is that? So in terms of progress, the black bookmark is where I am. I've already read all this, so I'm further in than I have left to read, which is exciting. I haven't updated my Goodreads since I did my reading for today, but last time it was at 57% read, which is very exciting. Hopefully today it will go up even more because I did just read, well, I listened to my reading for today. I did want to share a few quotes. I can't remember the last time I updated you guys. Oh yeah, it was the whole Anatole and Natasha kerfuffle situation. Like Pierre, we've kind of learned, basically is in love with, if not loves, Natasha. And he's like, because he kept visiting her because she was kind of depressed, and like his visits kind of just like elevated her spirits. And now Pierre's like, I can't see you anymore because like if I keep seeing you, I'm gonna like feel these things that I'm not supposed to feel because I am married. And even though my wife has already cheated on me and I, you know, shot a guy for it, I'm still hooked for life. Yeah, it's not going great for Pierre, but Andre. Also, Princess Maria and Nikolai have met, and they're kind of like in love with each other. They're enamored with each other, because he in a sense became her knight in shining armor and rescued her from like a debacle, a kerfuffle, if you will, with the peasants, which still not sure what that was about, but like they were told to leave their estate because like the French were coming, and the peasants were like, no, we're staying put and you can't leave. So because she was like, give them all the grain that like we have stored up, like but they didn't want the grain or corn, whatever it was. So I'm kind of confused what that whole situation was about. I honestly ship Maria and Nikolai, even though Nikolai was kind of his family's ruination, you know? On the fence, I'm kind of still on the fence about Nikolai. He was all right at first, then he really went like downhill. Now I feel like him and Natasha are kind of equal at this point. Like, they both had their like ruination moment and haven't fully redeemed themselves, although Natasha is slowly, you know, getting back to where she was. Not with Andre, just as a person. And I like, you can tell Natasha feels like very guilty about it, but she's working on it, and that's great. It has been a while for me, not for you, because for you it'll only be a couple of seconds through the magic of editing, but I have another War and Peace update. I'm currently on page 868, which is book 3, part 2, chapter 36, and that's about 63% done. We're closer to the end than we are to the beginning, which is exciting. So if you look here, this is how much I have left. This is how much I've read, which is super exciting. And we have a little sticky tab update. I have been going crazy with the tabs per usual. So far we've had like a super duper long war scene. So it hasn't been the most interesting, but the audiobook is kind of carrying me through this book. I want to be done with it because obviously I want to like have read War and Peace, but at the same time I don't want to be done with it because I don't want to leave these characters. Like obviously I can reread it, but since it is so long and we've spent so much time with the characters, like it's just it's honestly an automatic favorite. Like it is so good. Even though I haven't enjoyed every single page, it has just, Tolstoy's writing, it's so good. Like I can't properly describe it. You just have to see for yourself and read it. But yeah, currently Pierre is like at the scene of the battle because he's like, I want to see what it's like. I'm like, Pierre, I get you, but at the same time, you're kind of dumb. Like, you know, you wouldn't just, as a civilian, just go onto the field of battle. It's not smart, and apparently Pierre doesn't realize that because he keeps following all these people. He's like, oh, I just saw this general ride off on a horse. Let me follow him. Pierre. No. And then he almost got like hit by, not a missile, like is it a bomb? A cannonball? Not entirely sure what they are. But yeah, he almost like got hit. So I'm just like, Pierre, just go home, buddy. Like, you are going to regret staying, I can already tell you. I'm currently editing the episode 2 of this video, so I think I will keep this third episode until I reach part 4, book 4. Book 4, and the epilogue will be episode 4 of the Tolstoy Chronicles, is what I'm calling this. Because I want to have 4 episodes. We may end up just having 3, and maybe I'll make like a wrap-up / I still have to film an annotation video, which I have not done. So we gotta do that as well. But we'll just see. I'm gonna try and edit this and get it up very, very soon so you guys can enjoy. Yeah, that's my little reading update for you guys. Currently,
this wounded man was Prince Andrei Volkonsky. Chapter 15.
No, Andre! No, 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 no. Update coming to you from my classics. I'm gonna call it the classics corner. Eventually I will do a bookshelf tour, but I am actually unhauling 2 of the books on my shelf. And I talked about in my last video that I was going to set up a Pango bookshop, and I finally did. So you can shop all the books that I am unhauling. Some I do have multiple copies of that I'm just selling because like I got the paperback, but then like I had the second book in a hardback in a series, and so like I went back and bought the hardcover, so I'm just selling the paperback. So if you want to just check out the books that I'm selling, I'm also selling Sense and Sensibility. This is the Collins Classics edition, and as well Sandition and Other Stories by Jane Austen. And the reason I'm selling these is because I want to buy all of the Jane Austen books in the Barnes & Noble Classics edition. So I have reached Book 3, Part 3, Chapter 26, which is page 960. We are slowly progressing to the most pages I've ever read in a book, which is 980, and the biggest book I've read so far is Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas, that at 980 pages. So today I read 60 pages because when I woke up this morning, I just like laid in bed and listened to the audiobook, which is like the best way to listen to audiobooks. It's like reading in bed, but like listening. And so it kind of helps you fall asleep more because it just, at least for me, it just like lulls you to sleep. I just have to remember to turn off the audiobook before I actually go to sleep because I wouldn't want it to run all night. And then woken up and like the audiobook would have been done and I'd be like, oh great, I finished War and Peace. Yeah, we've reached page 960, which is exciting. Another little update. This much to go. I am so excited. A tabbing update. Look how many tabs I have used, and I haven't even tabbed every moment I've highlighted. So Andre, I'm scared for his life right now because he's been gravely wounded, and he's actually traveling with the Rostovs because like all the soldiers and a lot of people were still like leaving at the time, and so the Rostovs, mainly Natasha, was like, why don't we just like leave all of our stuff here and take a bunch of the wounded soldiers with us? Because like why would we just leave them here to die essentially? They took a bunch of the soldiers. Andre, it turns out, is a part of that and they're leaving. So I'm hoping, I want just like a really beautiful scene between Natasha and Andre where Natasha gets some sort of like redemption for the wrongs that she's committed. Anatole is dead, which I feel bad for the way he died because he did like get his leg amputated before he died. I still don't like him. I'm glad he's out of the picture and I don't have to see him again. Now Helene, on the other hand, is just plodding away. She wants to divorce Pierre because she is like sleeping around with other men. There was this scene and she was talking to someone. She's like, oh, I love these two men like equally. I don't know which one to choose to marry. And this one guy who's her friend, supposedly, tells her, well, why don't you marry the old one so that when he dies, then you can marry this other guy. I was like, excuse you, sir? No, that's no bueno. It is currently April 10th. We've got 20 more days left in the month. I think I'm already ahead of what I was anticipating to read every day, which was 23 pages in order to finish by the end of April. Yes! 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 Oh my god. Oh my gosh! Yes, a new happiness was revealed to me of which man cannot be deprived. A happiness lying beyond material forces, outside the material influences that act upon a man. A happiness of the soul, the happiness of loving. Andre. Oh my gosh, I just want to highlight this whole page. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it. This is Andre talking, or his inner thinking. Yes, love, but not love which loves for something, for some quality, for some purpose, or for some reason, but the love which I, while dying, first experienced when I saw my enemy and yet loved him. I experienced that feeling of love which is the very essence of the soul and does not require an object. Now again I feel that bliss. To love one's neighbors, to love one's enemies, to love everything. It is possible to love someone dear to you with human love, but an enemy can only be loved by divine love. That is why I experienced such joy when I felt I loved that man. When loving with human love, one may pass from love to hatred, but divine love cannot change. No, neither death nor anything else can destroy it. It is the very essence of the soul. Yet how many people have I hated in my life? And all of them I loved and hated none as I did her. And he vividly pictured to himself Natasha, not as he had done in the past, with nothing but her charms which gave him delight, but for the first time picturing to himself her soul. And he understood her feelings, her sufferings, shame, and remorse. He now understood for the first time all the cruelty of his rejection of her, the cruelty of his rupture with her. If only it were possible for me to see her once more, just once, looking into those eyes to say, ... I'm not okay. Oh my gosh. I have to keep reading. But look. Oh my gosh. Andre, it's not a dream. It's not a dream. Page 990. When he came to himself Natasha, that same living Natasha, whom of all people he most longed to love with this new, pure, divine love that had been revealed to him, was kneeling before him. He realized that it was the real, living Natasha, and he was not surprised, but quietly happy. Stop, Tolstoy, stop! No, you can't hold me there! No! I love you, said Prince Andre. Forgive what? He asked. Forgive me for what I have done. I love you more, better than before. Lifting her face with his hand so as to look into her eyes. Those eyes, filled with happy tears, gazed at him timidly, compassionately, and with joyous love. Natasha's thin, pale face with its swollen lips was more than plain. It was dreadful, but Prince Andre did not see that. He saw her shining eyes, which were beautiful. Don't break up, Natasha and Andre. Oh my gosh. I just want to give Andre a hug.